From Martine Studios in New York, your trending topic TV show. This is Talking Heads with Nizam.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Talking Heads. I'm your host, Nizam. I have my distinguished panel to the left. We have Jennifer, Kevin, and Shaun. So let's get right into it. My favorite segment of the show is What Are You Watching? Jennifer, what are you watching? Let's talk about it.
Homeland is everything right now.
Oh, wow.
Everything. This season just has blown me out of the water.
Don't say too much. I'm still on season 2.
It's really hard to keep it in because it's just Claire Danes she's amazing. She's amazing. I mean, you truly believe that she is this completely driven, mentally sick FBI, CIA agent, and you really need to catch up.
Yeah.
You really need to catch up.
But we'll talk about it later, this whole Netflix thing, the net neutrality.
Yes.
What else? Anything else you're watching?
I'm actually really into The Good Wife. So my Sunday nights are just kind of packed.
Okay.
Good Wife, Homeland, The Affair, straight through.
The Affair, is that
The
good?
Affair, you guys, I don't know if you have Showtime, but The Affair is amazing. And it stars my childhood dream, Joshua Jackson. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the one with the guy from The Wire? I forget his name. I think it is. I've seen commercials for that.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and it's actually filmed right out on Long Island.
Yeah,
so
I might have to check that out.
Very cool.
Kev, what about you? What do you got?
American Horror Story. That was what I was talking about last time I was on the show. So it started up again.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's been a whole season since you've been on.
Yeah.
Well, all right. What is it now? It's Freak Show.
It's Freak Show. What? Yeah. It's Kathy Bates. Angela Bassett joined the cast. She's amazing. I forget the actor's name who used to be the commish. He's on it now.
Okay.
I'm dating myself right now. The commish. I forget his name. A great actor. It's exciting just to see everyone back. Jessica Lange's amazing. It's fun.
She's the steady.
Yeah.
She's back every time.
Yeah, she's back every time. So far, anyway. We'll see what happens.
What else? Anything else?
No, that's it. I don't watch a lot of TV.
No? Okay.
American Horror Story.
Okay.
For now.
That's what you make. That's what you make time for.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Shaun? What you got going on?
Third and final season, Newsroom, just started on HBO. That's my Sunday night. But Jeff Daniels as a news anchor, just amazing. Definitely not the Dumb and Dumber Jeff Daniels you're used to.
Yeah.
But no, it's just an amazing show. It's Aaron Sorkin and produced, and it's just it's very West Wing-esque.
I love that Olivia Munn's on there, and she's a Japanese American. She has little pieces where she her ethnicity comes out.
Her character is great. She's a finance commentator, so she talks about the news and stuff. But she's quirky, and I don't know. She's got a great character in that show. But definitely a great show.
I think all the characters on there are pretty good. I used to work in news, and some things are very far-fetched. The whole Jeff Daniels that has been posted on Facebook, about real America or whatever. Yeah. I wish it was that real. I wish news was really that real or that honest. Yeah. But it's a different take on things that we've already seen, which I like. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
So I'm watching Walking Dead. Anyone?
It got through the season. I know.
Oh man, please jump back in.
It's something to revisit.
Jump back in.
All right. It takes so much zombie stuff.
It's not zombie stuff anymore. They're just the zombies are the side story.
I do like the lead actor though, because he was in Love Actually, so.
Oh, okay. Rick?
I'm a little partial.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rick? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
He's all the signs. He was trying to go after his best friend's girl, which isn't great, but
All right.
still really great.
And of course Scandal. I'm watching Scandal.
I watched Scandal.
It's a good one.
How to Get Away with Murder right after Scandal.
I'm kind of in that. I got to catch up. This whole thing they got going on. I'm like,
She's incredible. Viola Davis.
Oh yeah, she's good.
Oh,
she's good.
gosh.
I think everybody on there is pretty good. I just got to catch up. It's just, I feel like it's moving. It's kind of trudging through. I'm on probably the third episode, maybe fourth.
It gets better.
Okay.
It gets better. I promise.
All right.
I promise.
Okay. Well, let's get into the show a little bit. Everybody's been talking about this guy, 90-year-old guy. He's feeding the homeless down in Florida. I guess it's against the law. He's working with some other people, some pastors and whatnot. And He's been arrested several times, 2, 3, 4 times now. Kevin, talk about it. How do you feel about this guy?
Well, there's a lot of things to pick apart in this story. I don't think, one, it's a very nice thing that he was trying to do. You know, everyone wants to do their part. Everyone wants to try to help. Well, most people should anyway. I don't feel like he should have been arrested. I mean, you know, I think that law needs to be looked at. But I do kind of understand the idea of, you know, being in a public space that is shared by, you know, local citizens, a community, and it, you know, the homeless gathering there. I can understand how, you know, and if it's, I mean, we have that issue in White Plains, you know, and people complain that it does interfere with business, it interferes with, you know, your own personal time, and I understand that. I sympathize with that. You know, nobody wants, you know, the entire homeless community congregating, you know, in front of their business or while families are trying to enjoy themselves. It's not the answer to help the homeless situation. The problem with the homeless, you know, is the fact that they are homeless. I think there is an avenue that he could have taken in order to provide that service, not in a public space. Or, you know, I mean, imagine if it was like, you know, in front of your house, you know, if you lived in front of that park and all of a sudden all these people are congregating and feeding. I mean, it is a disruption, and it's unfortunate that it's a disruption. But I think he could have taken a different avenue, maybe hooked up with a local soup house or, you know, soup kitchen, whatever the case may be.
He is working with 2 pastors. You know? That's what's lacking in the story.
Yeah, and I don't, right. It was barely mentioned in most of the articles that you read. And a lot of the people that he was working with also got arrested. I think that was a bit unnecessary. I think, you know, I understand, like, you know, a fine. I mean, there's regulations. You know, I can't just go to the park and start cooking food for myself.
Right.
You know,
right. Exactly.
I would be arrested or asked to leave or fined. You know,
you would probably be asked to leave, and maybe there'd be a fine. Arrested.
Right. I think it's extreme to arrest.
Right.
You know, people, and, you know, from what I understand, the cop was like, "Put that plate down."
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was a little intense.
Stories.
You know, yeah. There's,
Shaun,
you know, a couple of stories.
Shaun, what do you
around,
think, man?
I completely agree with Kevin. I mean, it's tough when you're disrupting the community. So overall, I think that's what it is. And then there's like health and sanitary reasons because they don't have a bathroom, so you're not technically supposed to be serving food. So I totally understand the law, where they're coming from. 90-year-old man, and I mean, he's just trying to help out. I think they took it to extremes. You definitely don't have to arrest the man. Just give him a fine, slap on the wrist, or say stop serving the food.
Yeah. Just keep. I would just say just keep giving him a fine. You know, like, because you put him, like, you know. It's kind of the reverse of taxpayer dollars, you know. Giving him the fine is kind of the reverse of taxpayer dollars. Like, how much does it take to process a payment than to process a person? You know, and several people got arrested.
It was 30 plus.
Yeah, you know. So, how you feel, Jen?
I mean, I kind of have a bleeding heart about it. I think what he's doing is great. You know, the whole problem is that he doesn't have the permit and he doesn't have the portable bathrooms, which is part of the requirement. So I feel like if, you know, the community would kind of come together and team up to, you know, make his efforts go even further, it could wind up being a beautiful thing. And
designated day for it.
You
know, create an event around it
within
the guidelines of the municipality.
But homeless isn't a one-day event, though.
No,
it's
not.
He's been posting on Facebook every Wednesday at 6:30 at this one specific place that he gives out. I mean, the first or second time he was arrested, he had 300 meals prepared, and they arrested him when he had only handed out a few. And then this past time, they issued him the citation, but the officers actually let him keep giving out the meals. So it's like they know that what he's doing is a good thing. He just has to find, you know, the ways within the law to actually, you know, to put into actualization. Otherwise, I think it's great. I think like 90 years old and this is what you want to do the rest of your life. Like, I applaud him.
Yeah, get out of the house, be active, man.
I think it's also good that it might have brought attention to a situation that people weren't really aware of. Like, if there's a serious homeless situation and this is bringing light to it, to act on it. You know.
What's crazy is I was in Portland, Oregon, earlier this year, and they have like little homeless towns that have electricity and everything.
Yeah.
We walked by and I was like, oh, you know, I thought it was like people cooking or something. I thought it was like a, you know, because they're big on the food trucks too. So I thought it was like a little, you know, like food truck kind of, you know, shanty. You walk through and you buy stuff. He goes, those are homeless people. I'm like, there's lights, and they're like, yeah. So it's just like from one spectrum to the other spectrum, literally. It's handled different ways. It's crazy.
Well, like, and when cities crack down on, you know, tent cities and things like that pop up, you know, it's kind of the same.
Right.
Well, I also think, I mean, the climate. We have such a cold climate here in the winters that we kind of see it decrease a bit. But in Florida and California and places like that, it's ongoing yearly, year-round thing that they're trying to deal with and trying to crack down on. So I think it's just kind of finding the balance between what's best for the community and what's best for kind of humanity.
And the city also kind of looks like, their solution is to sweep it all under the carpet. If you don't see them, at a site, at a mine, if you don't see them, there's not a problem. There obviously is a problem.
Right. Well, that's good points. Let's keep it moving. Another thing that's out there going on right now, everyone's posting it on Facebook. It's getting kind of crazy. A Yale historian just found a Martin Luther King letter that was sent by the FBI, and it's been circulating. It was heavily redacted years ago, but now we have the unredacted version. Shaun, how do you feel about this letter that's out there now?
I'm not a fan of it at all. I think it definitely goes to they're trying to convince Martin Luther King to commit suicide. Definitely goes to show a sign of the times. Like, it's not a good thing at all. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know if they were probably even reprimanded for writing that letter, but I can definitely tell you if something like that happened today, like there would be like public outcry. I feel really bad about it, but it happened so long ago that I don't even know if it makes a difference at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sad to talk about.
Jen, what do you think?
I mean, stories like this, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I just kind of love stuff like this because it really kind of gives you a firsthand view of what the before our time was like.
Right.
And I just think the things, I read the letter and the things that were written were just horrendous and eye-opening, and a lot of it had to do with his infidelity, which years later we find out that a lot of his supporters and his right hand men and women knew that he was a big womanizer and wasn't faithful to his wife and everything. But with this, it was like the FBI found this all out because they were tapping his office and his home and his hotel rooms. So it's like, they're kind of trying to expose him when really there wasn't anything to expose. And we were talking about before the things that they said in the letter, calling him evil and
abnormal.
It was pretty bad. So the letter was it wasn't written by Edgar Hoover. It was written by one of his aides or one of his assistants. But it was written as a Martin Luther King supporter. So supposedly one of his supporters found out about his infidelity and wrote in to him. And what's really bad is he had left for Nashville, or he had just left, and his wife was the one who actually opened the letter and read it, and but it was written as one of the supporters of Martin Luther King, and basically using his infidelity to. Everyone's saying to tell him to commit suicide. I don't know if I want to go that far with it, but it was definitely implying you need to step down.
They said, you know what to do.
You know what to do.
I'm like, oh, gosh.
But yeah, it's crazy, and I feel like we were finding. I feel like everyone is cheating or having an affair.
Shocker.
Or something. Yeah.
Shocker. A man of great influence and power is
sleeping around.
I mean, shocker. I think this is a great example of this has been going on for so long. When are we going to be desensitized about it? And the big cases, the government. Well, we are here in this room anyway. But if you. It's more about the government using your personal life to defame you, But this happens every day. I mean, someone's defamed, a photo leaks, a video leaks, you do a scantily clad cover of a magazine.
We'll get to that later.
It just shows that nothing new. This has been going on forever, and we all know what a great man Dr. Martin Luther King was. He did great things for the general public, and I say all the time, I don't care what people do. It sucks for him and whoever was in his circle that affected directly. But for all the great that he did, for all the influence that he was, I don't care who he was sleeping with, or how many people he was sleeping with. It's so trivial.
It really so is. Trivial. I mean, it's definitely. I feel like it comes to character a little bit when you are. I mean, if you're lying to your significant other, if you're lying to your husband or your wife, could you be lying to us?
Right.
But it's just, it seems like it's one of those things that's just accepted. It's the Italian culture. They have what is it, gumba? What's not? I forget what it's called now. I knew I was gonna forget. But like in Italian culture, it's like you have your wife and then you have your side piece, and they have a name for it.
Just don't invite them both to lunch.
Exactly, exactly. It's just it's crazy, but it's and I think we are kind of desensitized to it because it's like it's gonna happen, you know, as long as they're doing something good. Like I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. On the fence.
I mean, I don't want to really bring up Bill Clinton, but I mean, do you think if he was honest to the American people about his affair, do you think he still would have been impeached? You know, it's like that kind of thing. You know, I mean, they just he's like, well, he lied to the American people about it, but he lied about a personal issue. You know, I would have. You know, I mean, how do you how do you
draw the line?
Right.
It's like church and state.
That's what his impeachment was all about. Was because he lied.
Yeah,
it wasn't about that he had an affair. It was just because he lied.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. It's craziness. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. The next topic, again, one of these wildfire trending topics, net neutrality. So basically, this is a fight that's been going on since about 2010. The president of the United States, Obama, has put out a statement, and he wants net neutrality to kind of stay where it is and to keep everything on a level playing field on the internet. If there is some type of traffic prioritization, you might have to pay more for a higher speed, and if you don't pay, then you have a lower speed, which comes into play when you're trying to stream your videos or whatever really you're doing. You may even have limited websites online. So let's talk about this a little bit, Jen. How do you feel about net neutrality?
I mean, I hate to, always like side with the current president, but I mean, I think what he's trying to set into place is fair. I understand with the internet service providers that they want to stay competitive, but at the same time, he's trying to give the American people all a fair playing field, which I think helps with, the upcoming generations and even the current generations just trying to, get everybody on this new technology wave and get them all, excited about the possibilities that we have out there. And I think that if you're giving everyone those possibilities, then it's only going to, go up from there. If you're setting all these harsh, I know what it's like to pay for your internet service provider and to, pay $10 more a month and you get like an extreme, speed upgrade and all that. And it's like, really? Like, just for that, I have to, shell out more money every month. Like, I feel like it would be more fair if you just give everyone a good amount. And then if, like you said, if they really want like, ultra mega speed, then go with that. But otherwise, I think what he's trying to enforce is fair.
Shaun, what do you think?
I'm against it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe it's the capitalist in me, I don't know. Or like, don't get me wrong, I know everybody hates, when you look at like the customer satisfaction, like the number one thing is always like the cable company. So everyone hates cable, but I pay more every month for HBO just because it's not part of the initial package, so you have to pay more for it. I understand everybody should get a base speed on your internet for like the same price. That's fine, but then if you want to pay more, you should be able to upgrade more. I think the whole issue started when Comcast actually they found out that they slowed down speeds for people who were sharing like peer-to-peer stuff, which is illegal, by the way. Like, you're not allowed to file share on the internet. So I think at a base rate, yeah, it's fine, but the cable company should be able to charge you more for faster speeds.
What do you think, Kev?
I don't know. There's definitely pros and cons to both of it. I mean, you want businesses to stay competitive. I think they might be able to find a more creative way to stay competitive. But my fear would be if there wasn't neutrality, you would have some limited access. Certain providers, would only have access to certain types of websites, and that's when it gets kind of it does limit. It does just the opposite of what it is supposed to do.
Right.
And I just blanked on it.
It's it really, what it really comes down to is fast versus slow, better versus worse. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I kind of, imagine if like libraries were in competition like that. That used to be the main source of knowledge, going to the library, and it's always been free everywhere you go, free library system. And if it wasn't, certain people wouldn't have access to certain kinds of information, and it's. I don't see the benefit in that at all.
Right. The HBO thing, I think, is a different argument, because that's you have basic cable, so you have to pay X amount for basic cable. But when it comes to like a premium channel, Showtime, Cinemax, HBO. You're paying extra for those. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is when it comes to, well, for me anyways, when it comes to accessing the internet. I have ShepardEntertainment.com. I want people to be able to go to my website and have just as much access to my website,
regardless of their provider.
And regardless of who has big money. If big money is going to start running things or continue to run things and take over more things, then a small business person like myself is going to either go bankrupt or hopefully catch fire and be one of the big people that has the money to be able to keep up. With net neutrality, I think at the simplest form of it, it's keeping everything equal, so that a Verizon doesn't knock out, Singletary Wireless if I'm trying to, get into the mobile market, because I don't have that cash to do all the things that they're doing. When the internet is an equal playing field for .comers who are coming in and are doing things and aren't able to catch fire with something. If they get enough views, if they get enough likes, if they get enough clicks, now we're talking this person is a millionaire now or a billionaire because they came up with something and they had the access to get it out to the masses. So at a very, very simple level, I feel like net neutrality keeps it equal for the small business person and for consumers. When it comes to consumers, I don't necessarily. I want everything to be the same speeds. I want everything to be the same price and be the same access. I don't want to have to pay more to get a higher speed, because I feel like, well, first of all, if I don't have the money to pay more, again, I'm suffering. What really kills me, I think a good example of this is whenever you go to watch something online, what always plays? The commercials. The commercials always play, whether it's 15 seconds,
5 seconds,
whether it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. The commercials always play. But then when you get to your content, you'll watch. When you go to WPmedia, communitymedia.org to check out Talking Heads, it's gonna start clocking, and it's gonna, you can't get the full 27 minutes that you want to watch. So it's just, I feel like. And that's how it is now. So if we don't keep net neutrality in play, all these things are going to get a little bit worse. Maybe your commercials won't play. Yeah,
and
right.
Those will definitely play no matter what speed your internet is. And it also keeps them from charging overages. Almost like yourself. Like if I go over my unlimited, which nothing's unlimited. It doesn't make any sense. Unlimited data plan. I reach that certain amount, and my internet slows on my mobile device.
Yep.
And I have to pay to upgrade that, so that doesn't happen after so many megabytes or gigabytes or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And it would almost be the same at your home. You would have a limited amount, and if you go over that, they're going to charge you. If you want a bigger package, they're going to charge you more.
It's a tough line. I mean, I don't know. If you know what you can do though. If you have an opinion, you can send an email to openinternet@fcc.gov, and if you have comments, you can go to fcc.gov/comments, and you can leave your comments out there and let them know what's going on. We could talk about this forever.
Yes.
So we have a couple minutes left, and I never get to this, but I want to do it. It is Do You Care? It's my second favorite segment. So. It's a very fun segment. It's kind of rapid fire. I'm just going to throw some things out at these guys, and if they care, they can say yes. If they don't, they can say no. If they feel like they have to explain, then you can explain. So, Jen, I'm going to start with you. There's a movie out there. It's called Frozen. Do you care?
I care so much. I care so much.
I have to, man.
So much.
Yo, they're talking about
let it go.
Yo, listen, they're talking about it was Frozen, but I saw it somewhere online. They're talking about extending the waists of the princesses. And making a realistic waist, because they're also Frozen was that was the picture. Yeah. And it was like Elsa or something. I don't know. But Frozen, what do you think?
I care, but I mean it's getting a little drawn out. It's getting a little drawn out, but it was. I mean, I love Frozen.
Yeah.
Sean, Frozen?
Don't care. Let it go.
Hate you. I know you.
I'm Anna, so in case you ever watch it, I'm her.
All right, so check this out. Cooper Manning, the lesser known of the Manning brothers, Eli and Peyton, he was interviewed. He works for this energy company, and he was interviewed. During the interview, Cooper was asked about Peyton and Eli, and it turned into the Peyton and Eli show. And he got a little upset and kind of screamed on the interviewer and was like, Peyton and Eli don't know blank about energy. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny, but Kev, do you care?
I don't care. I mean, it is kind of entertaining, to see, the little brother that's been overshadowed kind of has a hissy fit on TV. But
what do you think, Cooper Manning?
I care.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
You're a Giants fan.
I know. You know, I got nothing but love for Eli. No, but if you're interviewing somebody about like energy, like why do you care? Don't go
rude.
off top. It is. It's extremely.
But it's
rude.
Cooper Manning, though.
I would have said, "How your brother's doing?"
Yeah.
Slipped it in.
Jen, what do you think? Do you care?
As one of 3 girls, I care just because I love the sibling rivalry and like all the drama that comes with it. So I care in that regards.
All right. Okay. Shaun, I'm gonna go to you on this one. Kim's booty pics. Do you care?
God.
I like to see them, but no, I don't. I personally don't care how she was upset in 2 years ago about I'll never do nude, and then she does this. What did she make some? Like $50 million or something.
Yeah,
like
well,
that?
I mean, she's about to get pregnant again, so before she gets pregnant and just she has to show her body,
get that payday.
Booty,
No, I think it's funny that people send texts and that people send texts and stuff, naked pics, and you never get any money for that. You might not even get a call back from the guy, but she's making $50 million on it. I don't know. It's
Jen, what do you think?
I care a lot, but she actually didn't make a thing for these pictures, which is the biggest scandal of it all. Because I mean, as we all know, she had a sex tape, and what he's referring to is on Keeping Up with the Kardashians 2 or 3 years ago. She did a magazine spread, and they showed a little bit more than they promised to, and she had a meltdown on the show and cursed her publicist out, and her mother had to like calm her down and everything. And so now she's kind of just like, here I am in my glory now as a mom, but
she didn't get paid anything for that.
Nothing.
What do you think, Kev? Do you care about the booty?
I don't really care. I don't give a rat's butt or Kim's butt about that butt.
You don't give a Kardashian.
I don't give a Kim's butt about it. But good for her. I mean, whatever. It's nothing we haven't seen, which is it's nothing we haven't seen. She's been naked a million times.
Right.
All over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks naked in her clothes sometimes.
Sometimes it's okay.
So
it's okay. We love you.
You can't miss that butt.
Right. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out today. We got to get out of here. Don't forget, you can check us out on Verizon 45, Cablevision 76, Friday at 8 p.m. And we'll see you again real soon. Have a good one.